back to the Sad Beto O'Rourke fan club. This is Sad Alex. That's a breath. All he does is breathe.
Yammin's not here.
Yammin is gainfully employed, and he has to make that bread literally and economically.
So the Democrats took back the House.
They did.
And lost the Senate.
They didn't have it.
Well,
So,
I mean, lost it more.
yeah.
What does it say? The Republicans more cemented their position.
Yeah, they did. So I'm not super upset because I was expecting that.
It's a pretty major win.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like you go from just having no power whatsoever to having like a pretty solid, control. Like you actually control part of Congress. You can actually do things, block things now. So honestly, like good night overall. I think the reason a lot of people feel bad and like maybe aren't feeling this is
Beto O'Rourke.
Yeah, like a lot of the big names that people are watching, like your Beto O'Rourke's,
Went well in Virginia though.
Yeah, everything went well in Virginia.
Kane,
Tim Kaine won in 3 seconds.
Wellfax or what? The woman who beat out the
Barbara Comstock, Jennifer Wexton.
Yeah, there you go.
Beat Barbara
and then
Comstock in my district.
The gay guy who threw the woman who didn't give him a marriage license off a cliff.
That was in Colorado. Yeah, that's so. I was surprised that Kim Davis, who people might remember from being the crazy lady who wouldn't marry gay people because she was a clerk or whatever.
You can see the hate in her face.
Oh yeah, like she became.
I'm old.
This weird like conservative hero for not marrying gay people under the law for some reason.
It makes it sound like she wouldn't say yes to a proposal from a gay man.
Yeah. So she somehow had a position in Congress. I was completely unaware of that. And then she got beat out by one of the people that she denied to be married, which is poetic justice at its finest.
And it was like an internet saga. Well, not really a saga. It's just like 2 points. It's like I remember seeing it on Reddit, which one was it was on R Size Picks maybe of Kim Davis having to give the proper paperwork to the guy who's running against her, who she denied a marriage license, and now he won, and it's just like it's so good.
Yeah.
It seems like too good to be true because everything about the current world we live in, there's never any good wins. But that was pretty great.
No
justice porn.
So that was great. Right now, surprisingly, it's been over like 24 hours now. And not all the races are called yet. So the Dems have 222 seats in the House. The Republicans have 196. There's still about 13 or more. I'm just like doing a loose count, looking at this big ass graph here of super close races. And then the Senate's already like lost. Like, don't expect to get that back. Republicans have 51 people.
Already lost.
Yeah, it's already
like
lost.
It's
it just depends on like how bad you lose it, you know? The dude from Minnesota, his name is John Tester, and he looks like your gym dodgeball coach. He was a Democrat, and he actually managed to win by like 1,000 votes or something crazy like that. So that was good news. Then there's 3 more races that are still undecided, I think. And we'll figure that out when we get there. But overall, could have been a lot worse. I think it's pretty good overall. It's just sad that, like, the big name people, like Beto.
The
people in Florida didn't win. Stacey Abrams in Georgia didn't win.
See, people were shocked about Florida, but there were so many people who were just stating the obvious. It's like, everybody's stupid in Florida.
Yeah.
It's not shocking to me at all. I didn't expect to win. I was so disappointed about Beto, though. I was so angry that Ted Cruz was still in office that I went on a run and I did a bunch of push-ups at a field.
Like, ask yourself like a basic question. Who would you want to be a father to your child? Beto O'Rourke or Ted Cruz?
Beto would probably buy him Pokemon cards.
He'd buy him Pokemon cards. He'd take him out to the ball game. He would buy him his first guitar. and he would catch you
Teach
in your
him to
teenage
skateboard.
years drinking a beer, and he'd be like, "Now you be responsible with that, all right?" He wouldn't get mad at you. He'd be a really chill, understanding father.
What? Beto O'Rourke is notorious for sponsoring underage drinking. That was one of his talking points.
The funny
Make
thing
it
is
legal
he
for
did have
13-year-olds to drink.
He did have a DUI that he had to like talk about.
Did he really?
Yeah, when he was like 20 something. I don't remember. But yeah, it's all right. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone has those days. He was in a rock band, so
He was?
yeah, he was.
Oh my god. Is there no end to his appeal?
I know. It's funny because Ted Cruz was trying to make fun of him for being in a rock band before, but Ted Cruz has literally never done anything interesting in his life.
Well, I mean, he did like incest porn on Twitter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, on 9/11, not to forget that fact.
Too.
So overall, pretty good night. If you have any interesting observations or analysis you think is worthwhile,
Don't send it to us.
You can send it to me and I'll read it. And I might,
send it to Pena.
and I'll give you a grade on how well you did or how thoughtful your opinions are.
As a political journalist.
Exactly. Send that shit right into my DMs. I live off of that shit.
You could be like the girl from House of Cards that gets thrown into a train.
Dude, I actually just started watching.
I watched the first episode.
It's bad.
It's not fun.
It's so I'm on episode 3. I just finished episode 3 today, and it got
disappointed.
Got a little better.
I can't even get that far.
It's just like one. It's obvious that they're reeling and that the show doesn't really know where to go. I also don't fully comprehend what is happening in the story, and I don't know if that's because I'm forgetting things from last season, or
I watched the recap.
Yeah, I watched the recap, and there was still a ton of other details that I totally missed. So there's that. But I also just think the slow show in and of itself is sloppy. And it's going in this weird direction where, you know how Frank Underwood or Kevin Spacey, his character was like straight up like evil, like diabolical, right?
Claire's a good person.
Yeah.
Mostly.
It was just...
She wants to be.
It was entertaining to see him scheme.
Win. Yeah.
And now Claire Underwood, she was like part of that scheming beforehand, but now she's like turned over a new leaf.
She feels guilty and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, she's trying to do good stuff, but then she's like still
which
trying
makes
to
sense.
cover up her past, and like there's these like new like billionaire characters or something that are the enemies now. I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but yeah, it's not as entertaining as... It's not really House of Cards, basically, anymore.
You're a sexist.
Probably. The show has definitely taken a big feminism, Me Too, rah-rah-rah tone to it, which is fine, which is good, but for a show as cynical as this, or typically cynical, it doesn't really work. It feels super weird, you know?
I always thought of it like Breaking Bad, where the character that you're following is despicable, but you can't help but be invested in their like success.
Yeah.
And Claire Underwood is not despicable.
Yeah.
I mean, she's done some pretty weird, gross things by firing all her staff in the water safety organization, and then that woman who she blackmailed, who got pregnant, and like 4 other things or something like that. When they used the cover-up of her mother dying to reason as to why, she was having that affair. That was all really interesting. And I don't know. Maybe I should give it the benefit of the doubt and watch the second episode, but the first one, not doing it for me.
I mean, thank God.
You'd think they would they start with a bang, but they don't. Yeah, they just waltz into it like it's like the season the season didn't end. It's like this is halfway through a season. And it's just like another episode, which I feel like they should have started with something explosive.
Yeah. It's just weird.
Spoilers. They just sort of say that Kevin Spacey's character died of like a heart attack or something like that. He was just like health issues. He died.
Yeah. In the like 3rd episode, it's not really a spoiler because it doesn't matter really. But if you really care about House of Cards spoilers,
all 6 people are going to watch it.
Yeah, don't listen to it. They just talk about how his liver medication, he overdosed on his liver medication on accident. Like, that's the official cause of death.
Liver medication?
Yeah, or Kevin Spacey's liver medication, whatever the fuck.
Kevin Spacey's liver medication and not Frank Underwood.
But then they're kind of like hinting at that there was like more to it. Like, there's something suspicious around his death.
Ooh, maybe the Russians.
Yeah, honestly, anything would be more interesting than a moral crusade in House of Cards. So,
no matter what, someone's going to say that the reason people dislike this season has something to do with them having a hard-on for Kevin Spacey. When it's just the writing. It seems like it's taking a dip.
The writing is definitely pretty weak. Because, like, we've seen Claire Underwood be way more interesting.
I think second season Claire. No, wait. Which was the season where their main bodyguard switched out? Like, that was one, right?
The third?
You know what I mean, right? They had, like, the bodyguard that they'd had for a while. Back when Frank Underwood was the whip.
Yeah.
And it was the Secret Service man who got sick and then went to the hospital. And then it got replaced with a young dude.
Oh, yeah. That's the first season for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
She's been a way more interesting character in the past. And now they've kind of, like, belittled her almost to be this, like...
Paragon.
Yeah. And also, like, struggling to be presidential and, like, powerful. And...
I don't see her struggling to do that, though.
I mean, because other people keep, like, trying to push
No.
their
I mean,
agenda
her character,
her.
the one that I like and know, wouldn't struggle to do that.
Yes, that's what I mean. Yeah, she's not, like, she's almost unrecognizable because of that. It's bizarre. And, you know, going back to, like, Kevin Spacey, like, they were right to get rid of him, obviously, because of the stuff he did. And, like, even on the set of House of Cards, he was harassing people. But, like, you can tell that, like, he was the show, unfortunately. And there is, like, just a crater in this season now.
See, I didn't think that it would matter that much because Claire and him both have so much, like, just white hot star power. Just like that, like, really, I don't know. Like, there's certain actors that even if they're in some garbage movie, you'll be interested in the plot because of that actor, like a Christian Bale. Or I don't know. I can't even think of another example. I'm just thinking about Vice at the moment. But just a really great actor, and both of them are like. I didn't see this as it would be a problem. Like, all the ads for it just seemed like she was going to take the reins and whip ass, and I was looking forward to that. And it's not the case. Yeah,
and so far it's not that at all. And it also makes me miss, like, the chemistry they had.
Yeah. Actually, I didn't like their relationship as a whole. It just sort of felt toxic.
It was weird. I didn't like it when the show pit them against one another, because it was usually for, like, petty, stupid reasons. Like in season 3. I mean,
most of the reasons Claire had for being angry at Frank were pretty well founded.
I mean, they were, but, like, I feel like the show.
It may have been distracting and annoying. It's just like, let's move on. But they were written well. They were good reasons why anyone would be mad.
Yeah, but I obviously, like, that's what I'm saying is that I enjoyed them scheming together more than I did the personal drama between the two.
Definitely.
Like, they're at their best when they are, like, scheming together to, like, bring down someone else.
But the problem with that was he would just, mix up some honeyed words to tell her after she gets mad because he's just shoving her off when he becomes president. It's like, oh, I'm just going to be my own person. And she wants to be vice, but he chooses someone else. And that's a whole argument. And then he just, no, we're going to be working together. And then they do some awesome, back and forth teamwork. And then she finally, does it again. Like, oh, man, he's just shoving me off again. They have the same argument. It's like, I know how that can get annoying. I'd prefer them just to be, like, blindly working together.
Yeah, like fucking Phineas and Ferb or some shit.
Yeah.
Just like best scheming pals to the end.
With a Russian guy being Candace.
I wonder if did he die? He didn't die or anything,
no.
Right? No.
He's got a beard in this show now.
Yeah. I hope he shows up again. I'm only on episode 3, and they're bringing back some other people that I really liked, so I think it'll pick up and get better, I hope. But otherwise, a very mediocre to bad season so far. I'm, like, kind of watching it out of obligation right now, and I hope it gets better than that.
Sounds like something I'm going to do with Game of Thrones.
Yeah. No, actually, no. I'm excited for Game of Thrones.
Of course you are.
I didn't think... Yeah, the last season had some whack-ass parts, but it also had a lot of great parts to move the story.
It was visually
forward.
stunning.
And I thought, like, okay, there's
a lot of fan service. We've had this conversation. We don't need to do it again.
But I'm okay with that, though. Like, after, 6-7 years of building storylines, it's time
then let's just throw it all away.
No, it's time to see things pay off.
Like there's no payoff involved when you're just doing what everybody wanted to do, like getting the Suicide Squad team together and sending them up north. What the fuck was that for? You don't need none of those people were heading in that direction in like the last 2 seasons. It doesn't make any sense. Just making characters who were despicable and awful, like Jamie and the Hound, just like wipe their slate clean based on bullshit that came out of nowhere. Stupid.
I didn't like. No, well, actually, no. Jamie's arc in the show is fantastic. I would disagree with you there. That doesn't even happen. Like Jamie's arc to turning into a good guy happens in like season 3.
He became a good person in 1 season. It was so quick. Like when he got captured, he went from choking like his cousin out to form a distraction in his cage to thinking that this woman that he's just met is very nice and he's going to be nice to her. And I get that because he was brought low, but. Yeah. He's also a cunt, so why does he care?
I mean, he went back to being shitty when he...
In air quotes, shitty.
When he got back to King's Landing and hooked up with Cersei again.
Or tried to.
Yada, yada. But now at the end of last season, obviously, he's going somewhere. He's going to do something.
He's going to go join the Suicide Squad team, and everybody's going to have a blast, and they'll teleport all over the place, and be dragons.
It's going to be good. Don't worry. Even if it's not good story-wise, the visuals will be cool. Although I don't think I think it's literally impossible for them to end it in a way where people will be happy.
It shows just a complex pile of stuff now.
Like if you want to do... If anyone, like let's say like Jon, Daenerys, anyone ends up on the throne, it'll be like, oh, that's a happy ending. That's very unlike Game of Thrones.
That's who people want to end up on the throne.
Yeah, but I think
Do you care that that's incest?
I do a little bit. Like it's weird.
It is weird.
Like I kind of.
They don't know though. Brand is gonna come in. He's break the door. John style.
Like that's the weird thing. I kind of wish they would just remain friends. Also, like, does every relationship have to be romantic immediately?
When they're obviously attracted to each other.
Yeah, and I guess they like have. There's like the political gain as well, so it's like completely unrealistic for me to want them to be platonic, but it's still weird.
Until Tyrion tells her to stop doing someone, then she won't.
That's true. I can't wait for the scene they find out that they're actually related.
And Jon's like, I don't fucking care.
No, Jon's gonna be like, oh, that's fucking gross, and then Daenerys is gonna be like, what's the problem?
Well, my family has done it for generations.
That's how we keep our bloodline clean. He's like, what?
Am I not good enough for you? I'll dragon you, bro.
Oh wait, Jon doesn't know who his parents are at all. Like,
no.
He doesn't have a fucking smidgen as to what's going on.
I just want to see the story of Lyanna Stark and Rhaegar. Those two seem like really cool characters. Specifically Rhaegar, because when what's his name? The old knight that comes, not the bear guy, but the other old knight who shows up a little later and kills that bug.
Oh, the
Barristan the Bold.
Yeah.
His story is about Rhaegar just going into the town and singing and like getting little bits of coins and then giving it to the poor. It's just like, who is this amazing character? Where is he? Oh, he's dead. He got his face crushed by that idiot Baratheon.
Actually, well, the thing I'm hoping they do, but I'm not sure they will. But did you hear about the Game of Thrones, the prequel series they're doing?
God, I'm so excited for that.
Really? You don't think they're just kind of milking the cow right now?
I don't give a fuck. Oh. It's like you end up in a lot of properties like Destiny and Game of Thrones, and I'm just one of those things where I can only think of one other example. Like you're set in a time like after the collapse of something where it was all really cool sounding and there was dragons and magic and stuff. And there's a little bit of that going on now, but it was mostly like then was the time. Like they talk about the old times when there was magic and stuff. I want that series. Let's take it back. Okay. You know, so many interesting characters.
Yeah. So the new show is called The Long Night. So
the first attack of the White Walkers?
I think that's what they're going for.
They could get a whole new cast.
Yeah, they already casted
who's
Rhaegar? 2 people. I don't think. To be honest, I have no clue. I don't even know. They're not listing characters. Yeah, just like
my little mug of Maryland and Virginia, the little map. I just noticed it has a little pentagon.
Aw, in between
I don't know
them.
why that matters, but yeah,
that's cute. Yeah, so they cast Naomi Watts as the lead.
Who's Naomi Watts?
She is in...
Do you think there's going to be a demand for that?
I think so. Depending on, 1, how good Game of Thrones ends, and 2, how good the new show is, too. If the new show is good and like original enough and does different things, then I think it could be another big hit. But at the same time, like it definitely feels like they want to, like, you know, milk the cow, so to speak. They're coming back to the well for more. I'm trying to think.
You know what character that I like a lot? That's one of the newer ones. I like the Uncle Greyjoy, the pirate.
He's only in the. You mean in the book or the series?
In the series.
He is cool.
He's like the character that I play in video games.
Just like chaotic evil.
Yeah.
Like he just yells a lot.
If it's easy, whatever is easiest for me to get exactly what I want, I'm gonna do that. I do that in Red Dead all the time. It is so satisfying to blow people's heads off when they just like aren't cooperating.
Like he is so like plainly like evil.
Evil, yeah.
And like crazy evil. Like Cersei is
I'm not sure he's crazy. I think he's just duplicitous and like he's very self-aware. I don't think he's nuts. I just think he's like I don't even know. He's just like he's very self-serving. He knows what he wants and he's telling me, yeah, I mean, I'm going to fucking kill everybody. I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to do.
Yeah. Like I don't think he's not crazy. Although I guess you have to be some level of crazy.
It's just what people think of him as he seems crazy, right?
Yeah. I think he's just enjoying himself.
Yeah.
In all of his debauchery, which is what you would expect of a pirate, obviously. There's this great scene in the books that they really didn't do justice to in the show, because in the show he just kind of pops up and yells and all of a sudden everyone's on his side.
That was one of my favorite moments in the series, where he just comes over to the Greyjoy Islands and then he gets drowned and he wakes up and says, let's go kill my nephew and niece.
I hated that. Like, it was so fucking weird that all of a sudden all these people were on board with just killing them.
Because he's a man.
Like in the books, it makes way more sense because he just like shows up to the Greyjoy Islands with a fuck ton of treasure, just drops it, and like
did you read all the
does
books?
The rest of that shit.
Did you read all the books?
Yeah, I did. Well, no, I read up to the 4th one, like halfway through the 4th one.
Are they that good?
Yeah, they got really long.
Yeah,
and
I can't do that.
Yeah, I'm surprised I actually got that far.
1984.
I didn't even finish Harry Potter, but
dude, I love Harry Potter, but I could never bring myself to read those books because I'm so invested in what the on-screen version is, and people say, "Oh, the differences! I hate the differences. They took out my favorite character of Bloodle-Doo." That sounds like not fun.
The great thing about never reading a book ever is that you don't have to worry about the differences in the media.
I started reading the first book of Game of Thrones, and I got hooked into that for a few days, and then I forgot about it.
Yeah, it's like if like I can get into a fucking roll reading those books where I like won't stop, but if I like am busy for even a day and can't read it, I'll just totally forget about it. Because even just looking at those books, they're fucking dense and like kind of intimidating to pick up. So I'm just like, I think I'd rather just go relax right now and not have to do this. Like audiobooks actually helps. I actually used like some audiobooks for the second book. I remember to get through that one. That was tight. But I was gonna say,
I don't know if I could do that.
Audiobooks?
Yeah, because I have to have something. I don't know why, but the only times I've been able to read books, I'm like that person that's like hasn't tasted a food and I don't want to try it, and then the person says like, "Come on, you'll love it," and then eventually I do taste it, and now I'll eat it. But it takes a while for me to decide to do it.
My sister's like that.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what's fucking weird?
What?
And I don't know if this is like a larger trend I'm not aware of. People that have never eaten a fruit or vegetable in their entire life.
What?
Did you watch the new Hot Ones?
Are you talking about pirates?
No, did you watch the new Hot Ones with Lil Yachty?
He's never eaten a fruit or a vegetable?
He talks about his diet being like only like pizza, like chicken tenders. Like he literally eats like
no, that makes a lot of sense now that I think about it.
It makes a lot of sense. I'm surprised he isn't like dead or like more severely obese. Like he's
probably got like grease in his veins.
He said like he doesn't remember the last time he didn't have pizza in a day.
Ew.
And I'm like, Jesus Christ.
How does he look like that?
I don't know. And his wings weren't even like full wings. They were like boneless wings. They were like, I think they were more like chicken fingers sauced up.
I can't imagine eating wings without the bones. I like the bones.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a huge wings guy, but
I love wings so much.
It just really reinforced that Lil Yachty eats like a child. That's so bizarre.
His voice is pretty infuriating. I kind of hate it.
Yeah. I mean, his interview was really funny, actually, because he was freaking the fuck out. He could not handle the heat.
Was he one of those people when Sean asked, "Is like, how are you with spicy food?" What did he say?
He said, "I've literally never had hot sauce in my life."
Oh, at least he was honest about it.
Yeah.
Because most people go like, "Yeah, my family, we eat ghost pepper chilies for breakfast. This will be a breeze," and then they can't get past like the third one.
Yeah, they tap out.
They're crying. You know what was surprising? Bryan Cranston and James Franco. I think it was like. There was like some romantic comedy movie that they were promoting.
Oh yeah, Daddy's Home or something.
Yeah, and they just got through like a breeze. Like Bryan Cranston was barely hesitating. I was just like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
it's so strange.
There's some people that just like barely stutter, like barely even blink at the heat of all the sauces.
Guy Fieri did that. I can't remember her name. She's a food critic lady.
Rachel Ray?
No. I think she's Indian.
I feel like I know who you're talking about.
She's on the shows where it's like Top Chef or whatever.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember. Didn't Al Roker? I think Al Roker crushed all those sauces.
Al Roker. Yeah. I didn't see him.
That was good. I was like, this is the weatherman eating hot sauce. This is fun.
I love hot sauce so fucking much. I was like, sometimes I go that. Speak normally. Jesus Christ.
Reboot.
But the only kind of sauce that I usually get if I'm talking about food that I'm eating at home is Louisiana, which is a diner sauce that you can get. And I was like asking my brother if he'd tried it before, and asked everybody around the house because I wanted to know why no one else was eating it but me. And then I guess this isn't like bragging, but I guess I've built up a tolerance because my mom took like a tiny little dot of it and put it on her tongue, and like she had a bad reaction.
Oh my
it did not go well. And it's like, this is diner sauce though. It doesn't make sense.
That's so funny. I was like not really into hot sauce. But Kalina's super into hot sauce. She puts it on everything. And we went to the last time we were in New York last spring, we went to this place in Brooklyn that was like a fancy like hot sauce shop. And they had everything. They had the Hot One sauces, like the brand, and they had a bunch of other stuff they had featured on the show, a bunch of like they had hot sauce that was bottled like $150 of whiskey and stuff, as if the hot sauce was aged.
$150?
Yeah, dude, like insane like levels of hot sauce.
You can use those for like a weapon at this point.
Yeah, you could. I don't think it's that expensive because of how hot it is. It's just like people get really exotic with the flavors. And like there was a specific brand that was featured on Hot Ones that I really liked. It was Tiger something. It's like a white bottle and there's a tiger on the bottle. And like they do an incredible like green chili, like jalapeno hot sauce. That was like the first hot sauce that really made me realize like, oh, this can be delicious even though it's like really hot. And so now I'm all aboard like the hot sauce train and stuff. Indian food has really good I don't know if it's technically hot
curry.
sauce, but it's a sauce they'll typically give you on the side with your Indian food and it's delicious. It's so good.
I've had I'm not even sure if it's Indian, but there's a certain type of curry. I feel like I'm gonna sound like I have no idea what I'm talking about because I'm sure people are way more expertise in the area of this kind of food. But it's pork, and then on top of a bed of rice, and then this like I'm colorblind, but I think it's orange, like orange curry sauce on top. I could eat until I explode of that shit.
Does it taste like tomatoey?
It's vinegary.
Vinegary?
Yeah.
Okay, because I just had chicken tikka masala today, which it's kind of as you described, but it was chicken on a bed of rice, and the chicken is in like an orange, like curry sauce, but it's like tomatoey. Like that's why it's like orange. It's like all tomato based, but I think you can do it with pork as well. But same thing here. Like I eat that shit all day. It's fucking incredible. Like I didn't like Indian food because I was a super picky eater. I still am. I'm getting less picky every day, but coming to the UK, Indian food is obviously a big thing here.
Oh yeah,
And I'd never had it back in the US because I don't know why. I was just being stupid. So went to go get Indian food for the first time here.
Have you finally been to Nando's?
Yeah, I went.
How was it?
It's fine, honestly.
Yeah, that's what it is for everybody. It's like, unless you live there, it's like, I don't know if it's the equivalent to McDonald's. It's just like.
The thing is, there's Nando's in the US. So
I've never had it.
Yeah, there's one in Old Town. So like I'm not super keen on it here. And it's just like it feels like Panera, but for chicken. And I'm like, okay, this is fine. Like it's not casual enough for me to like stop in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And it's also not that cheap. Because I'm either like on one end of the spectrum or the other. Like either you're gonna be dirt cheap and like fast food, so I can just like eat like an animal, or like you're gonna actually give me like decent food if you're gonna like charge me as much as you are with like decent service. So
was it that much?
I ended up paying like $20 after the conversion rate for a basic, like chicken fillet meal with like chips as in like fries and a side salad. That's it. It was really fucking annoying actually. So it was fine. The sauces are really good. That's the one thing I'll say is that the thing that makes Nando's chicken good, I think, and as popular as it is that their sauces are great. Like just douse your chicken in like lemon and garlic sauce or whatever they got, and it's so good. It's 10 times better. The wings there are also really cheap and really good. So
I didn't order pizza. My little brother ordered pizza the other day because his friends were over, and then he was downstairs, so I went to get the door, and then the pizza guy was there, and I was like, oh, okay, and he was like, it's prepaid, so you can just take it. I was like, cool, and then I took it, and then he turned and looked at my car, and as I was closing the door, he was like, hey, how much did you pay for that car? And it's my 2003 Acura, which is barely holding on to its life. And I was, just because I'm a psychopath, I said $21,000. And he looked at me like I was insane. And I said, it's a very rare car. I don't know why I lie to people like this. And he was just like, oh, I was thinking about buying one. It's a very efficient car, but I guess if it's that rare. And I was like, yeah, it took me a while to get it. And he was like, all right, well, thank you. And I was like, goodbye.
What the fuck?
I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me.
Maybe like $21,000 when it first came out, but
$21,000 for a 2003 Acura.
How much do cars?
You have to do conversion just to find out how much it was.
God, I feel bad for that guy. He was probably like in the market for a car, and you totally crushed his dreams, and now he's going to keep scootering everywhere.
He was probably going to offer me money for it.
That's the thing. That's where I thought the story was going.
No,
he was going to make you an offer you couldn't refuse.
I can't imagine getting rid of that car.
God. Yeah. How much longer do you think that car has in it before?
I don't know. I changed the transmission and it's running like a dream again, so probably until it dies.
Oh, okay. Then you're probably fine. Like, I'm worried about my car, and my car is like a 2006. But it also has like 176,000 miles.
Mine is like almost 250, I think.
Oh, fuck. Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm in way better shape than you then.
Old car.
My car is also like missing some like parts, I think, that I really need to get taken care of.
Do you know anything about cars?
Do you know what?
Do you know anything about cars?
Barely. All I know is that you've driven in my car with me. You know why you notice my car is kind of bouncy?
No, I don't remember.
Okay. Well, my car is weirdly bouncy, and that's because like the springs or something. Like I only got half the springs replaced, and it's the front half, and I need to get the back half replaced, but it's been years, and I'm just constantly low on money. Every time I get money, I spend it on something else, not my car, because my reasoning is, I'm not going to be here for that long.
You should save it.
Yeah. So, I don't fucking know. Cars are complicated, and
Speaking
I hope I don't
of
have
savings,
to have one soon.
there was I opened a second savings account recently.
Nice.
And I was at the bank and talking to the lady, and after she got done, she handed me the form that I had to sign, and her name was Sahara Hawk, as in HAQ, and on the form it was just in all caps, your account was opened by Shaq. And I wanted to take a picture of it, but I couldn't think of a plausible lie.
That's the kind of like you could have easily just posted that with like a caption that's just like, I just had the fucking
Excellent
craziest
service.
bank experience. Just leave it at that.
It was very helpful.
Wow, Shaq's post NBA career is really taking a dive, but he's a great bank employee.
He's taking a dip, yeah. He barely fit in the door.
How tall do you think you would have to be before you wish you weren't tall anymore?
I thought you were going to say something so different, and I'm not going to repeat what I thought, but...
What was it?
I thought you were going to say, how tall do you have to be to suck Shaq's dick? I don't know why I thought that.
It's a sub part to that question.
Because you have to be pretty tall to like stand at where his waist is. So I imagine it's kind of difficult.
Okay, Shaq's not that fucking tall.
He's pretty tall.
Like,
he's a large man.
Shaq height. He is 2.16 meters. I don't know what that is.
That makes it, for some reason, meters sound like it's like a building. So he's like Godzilla.
In feet. Oh, he's 7'1".
Yeah, he's pretty tall.
Jesus Christ.
I'm 6'3" or 4", and that would mean he's a whole foot taller than me.
I am also 6'3". So I think the waistline. I'm gonna Google this. How high is the waist?
It's half as tall as you are.
I don't think it's exactly as half.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, there's a lot of math involved on this website, so I'm going to go off of what you're saying. So
this boss is really easy to kill.
7 times 12 plus 1. So Shaq is 85 inches tall.
That's also a weird way to look at it. 85 inches.
He is 7 rulers tall. And if you want to be standing while you suck his dick, you need to be 42.5 inches tall, which equates to 3.5 feet. So you need to be like on your knees still. Yeah, you're good. Anyways, totally sidesteps my other question of how tall do you think you would have to be before you would hate being tall?
I don't hate being tall. I hate that people tell me how awesome it must be to be tall, because it's like I don't notice the difference, and I don't know what amazing thing that it's not a fucking roller coaster being tall.
Yeah. I never actively think about being tall until I meet someone that's taller than me, and then I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is what it's like from the other end.
Do you feel bad? Like, oh man, I'm not as good as this person.
No, I don't feel bad. I just think it's like a bizarre experience, because like you go around life being pretty much like looking down at everyone. It's a totally subconscious thing.
Wow.
And then as soon as you run, like literally like eyesight down to someone.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
and then as soon as someone comes in that's taller than you, you're like, oh, this is weird. This does not feel like I feel like I'm looking up to like my parent again, you know? That like feeling you had as a kid when you would look up to your mom and dad when they were mad at you. I don't know. I think it's a subconscious thing. I don't fuck with it though. Did you hear about all this this gamers rising up about this new Diablo phone game that they don't like?
Oh yeah, people want to break everybody's necks for it. Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I don't care because I don't play Diablo, but I guess it makes sense.
Like,
I mean, it's like they're not obligated to make the game that you want, but also I can see why they'd be mad.
Okay. So like it's like if they
for anybody that doesn't know,
let's say they made Fallout New Vegas 2 or something. They were working on Fallout New Vegas 2. They announce it. Everyone's losing their mind, but then they say,
so it was like
it's
a
coming
deception.
Exclusively to the iPhone.
So do you think it was like they deceived people because they said there's a new standalone Diablo game, and people were like, yeah, and then they were like, it's on mobile, and they were like, what?
Yeah,
but was it in the same breath though, or was it like a week later they said it's on mobile?
They said it. They announced. Well, so what happened was before the press conference, they said that there would be a Diablo-related announcement, and then that ended up being this mobile game, and everyone was pissed because they were like, "Oh, this is just a fucking iPhone game. This isn't Diablo 4 we've been waiting for," and that was the issue. It's as if, like Bethesda was like, "We're doing Fallout New Vegas. We have Fallout New Vegas related." Announcement coming up, so stay tuned. And everyone's like, oh shit, what's it gonna be? They finally bring it up, and they're like, exclusively for the iPhone.
Who is this for? Because I can't imagine. Everybody said it's for China.
It is, in large part, but also
and so is the rainbow thing.
They want to capture, like, the thing is that everyone has a phone, right? Think back when the Wii came out and the Wii was stupid popular. And there were so many shitty versions of games that were already out coming to the Wii. Like, have you ever played any of the Call of Duty Wii games?
I've never played on the Wii.
You've never played a Nintendo Wii?
I fucking hate that thing.
How do you know you hate it if you never played it?
Because it just looks like it would handle like ass.
It kind of did. But sometimes it didn't. But regardless, there's just so many people on phones that it's obviously a lot of money, potential money that businesses want to tap into.
I know
right?
Hearthstone made the jump to mobile and people loved it.
Yeah, well, that's because that works, because it's a card game.
Yeah,
you don't need to be...
And Diablo is... people. What are people complaining about?
They're complaining that after years and years of nothing big happening in the world of Diablo, the first thing they announce is a mobile game.
Did you see in the actual... that was cringy as fuck. Them getting booed. And then also, after the boos... Because they originally said, yeah, I mean, don't you guys have iPhones? And it was just like, what the fuck? And then it says, it's going to be on iPad too, and on the Switch. And people were like, what? Is there more mobile games you're listening?
Like, part of me... And then that one... Did you see that one fucker come up and was like, yeah, is this an April Fool's joke? And everyone started, like, laughing. And I was like, I hate, like, everyone in this room right now for different reasons.
They all look like they want to throw themselves off cliffs. Like, just pain.
Like...
Don't you guys have phones?
There's, like one... Gamers are, like, the most easily triggered group of people online. Yeah. Guaranteed. You even, like, bring up the fact that they're angry for a stupid reason, and they will just try to destroy your life.
Yeah.
Like, yes. On the one hand... It's a Diablo shitty mobile game. It's disappointing, but it's not worth getting this upset over, I think. And I do think people are getting a little entitled, right? At the same time, Blizzard really fumbled the ball here and totally fucked up, not realizing that they should have softened the blow by announcing Diablo 4 immediately afterwards, or just not announcing this game at their biggest annual press conference to close off the show. Like, they just totally fucked it up. Like, all this hype was for this dumb iPhone game.
It's a good thing that Overwatch is doing so well.
Is Overwatch doing well still?
I feel like it is. They just announced a new character.
Yeah, that's true.
It was a really cool character. I've actually thought about that before. That exact character design. For some reason, I'm taking credit for it.
But, yeah, either way... Both people are kind of wrong. Both people have points. But there was an article that just came out a few days ago saying that they were going to originally announce Diablo 4 right after the mobile game, but they pulled the announcement because Blizzard likes it. Blizzard especially really likes to be cagey and shy about when they announce things. Everything Overwatch, even like new characters are kept under wraps for so long. Like you don't know what's happening until like the week before it happens. And that's the thing I don't really like about the video game industry in general, is that it's super secretive. Like, we knew Infinity War was coming out like 5 or 6 years before it even started filming. And like, we don't even know if Diablo 4 officially exists yet. Like, it's just weird. Like, there's so many secrets in the video game industry for some reason, you know? Like you can hear about a movie beginning of production from like before the script is even written, but for some reason it doesn't work like that for video
Diablo
games.
is such a boring looking game. It's one of those. What is it with Blizzard making games that are like beautiful cinematics and they're just having a game that looks like ass?
World of Warcraft is the epitome of that.
Yeah,
World of Warcraft looks like ass, but the cinematics are incredible.
So why? I've never understood the idea of that. Why put millions of dollars into like a beautiful cinematic and then just have the game that looks like dog shit?
It's because you just need to sell it. Like, you can't sell it on gameplay alone. Like, I'm not sure. Have you seen Elder Scrolls Online does the same thing, where the gameplay, it looks less like ass than World of Warcraft, but it still doesn't look great. But to sell it, they made some like really expensive CGI trailers that are amazing looking. That is not representative of the game whatsoever. Like, the game itself looks like shit.
Yeah.
And what actually bugs me the most out of all of these games, Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Yeah.
That first announcement cinematic, like years and years ago, where it was like the Sith like crashing into like this Jedi temple, and then like hundreds of Sith and hundreds of Jedi like fighting it out. It's fucking insane.
And then the master like telling the Padawan to leave, and then she gives him her lightsaber, and then he just goes toe to toe with the two of them and kills one of them and gets killed himself. It was awesome. Insane.
And then to find out it was for a shitty MMO that looked like a cartoon.
Every single one they put out, like the one of the two brothers.
Yes.
That's one of my favorite animations I've ever seen in my life. I just want to watch a movie of that. It was so pretty.
And the game doesn't even look. It doesn't have realistic graphics at all. It's like cel shaded, so it looks like Borderlands.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. So why can't they just make the games out of like all of these cool cinematics? Like
Star Citizen is actually really pretty.
It is, but I don't know if that game will ever come out.
It's so expensive. I am so shocked at how much people are willing to put in that game. It's like $200 for a nice ship. I don't understand that.
And it feels like they're blowing all their money on voice talent. Have you seen who's in that game?
Mark Hamill. No, wait, that's Wing Commander. Star Citizen, I can't remember who.
I think Mark Hamill is also in.
I just know I've seen ads for, like production pieces for Wing Commander. I've seen Mark Hamill in that. Bishop from Aliens is in it.
All right, so Star Citizen, they have Gary Oldman.
Wow.
They have,
remember when he was Reznov in Black Ops?
Dude, I totally didn't even know that was him.
Yeah, he's a great voice actor.
I wasn't even fully aware of what was going on at the
what
time.
do the numbers mean, Mason?
Star Citizen voice talent. I don't know why IMDb is not showing. Okay, they have Gary Oldman, Gillian Anderson, Andy Serkis, Mark Hamill, Mark Strong, John Rice. There's so many people. Yeah, they even CGI mocapped Mark Hamill into the game. Oh my god!
Is he a young man or is he still old?
He's still old. They have Liam Cunningham from Game of Thrones.
Who's that?
They have Ben Mendelsohn from Star Wars Rogue One.
Who? Who's Liam Cunningham?
He plays Davos.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Yes.
So like, they've spent so
the Onion Knight.
They have Sophia Wu from Kick-Ass, although she's not as famous, I don't think. Like, I really don't think they should be spending all their money on voice acting when you get much cheaper, very talented voice actors, and you should definitely be putting that money towards developing the actual game, because at this rate, it's never going to come out. Like,
I feel like it's already out. People are playing the game.
Like, one part of it is out, but not like they're developing it in like sections. It's very, very weird. But like the promise of the game being this giant open world space thing is so far away from being.
Well, I mean,
realized.
it's already bigger than Destiny, so it's got my interest.
Is it actually?
I mean, considering how many places you can go to. I just remember seeing a couple of the videos about like racing. That was so pretty.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of
3 hours ago. Wow. They're already posting about this.
That's kind of what No Man's Sky was supposed to be.
85 minutes of new gameplay. I might have to watch that.
But No Man's Sky was just a huge fucking disappointment overall.
Cyberpunk is my last hope for a true open world RPG.
I think Cyberpunk's going to be good.
I hope it is.
There's no reason for it not to be good.
For games like, you should stop promising what Destiny promised, where it's just like, there's so many worlds to explore, but you can really only explore like the size of a small town in every place. It's just like, this doesn't feel like a world.
Just make one.
Focus on building one world, and then in the DLC or something, here's Neptune. It's like a new world.
Make your world not as big, but as detailed as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to be.
They really nailed that in the new game. It's just like beautiful stuff, but there's nothing there. It's sort of like with GTA 5, how the city feels pretty fucking empty. Like there's nothing going on.
I want to be able to open every door.
Yeah.
And for there to be something back there.
That's what the rule that should be said. You should not be able to add a door in a game without it meaning something or going somewhere.
Exactly. We got a fuck ton of emails this week. So I'm going to start going through those now.
I just want to play like the game I'm playing now, which is Red Dead, with better shooting mechanics and like set in a futuristic way. So I'm like got a laser gun and it's in Star Wars and I'm just playing Star Wars.
It's going to be Cyberpunk, hopefully.
I fucking hope so.
It's the closest thing you'll get. This one's from Teddy. Hey, what's up? So, what comedians do you guys like? I fucking love Bill Burr, Hannibal Buress, Bo Burnham, John Mulaney, and Daniel Sloss. There are plenty of others, but I don't know about the names at the moment. Also, Patrick, I know that you have a drawing tab, but what software do you use, or did software come with a tablet? And how is college going,
Painter Essential 6.
Use
I have other ones. It's called Painter Essential 6. It's the Wacom tablet. It gave me a bunch of free ones. That's the one I use though. I don't know if it's anything special. I doubt it.
Okay. Ask Yammin how college is going.
Yammin, how's college going? It's going bad.
About to enter college myself for drawing and animation. I'm really excited, but also scared. Any advice? Alex, how's the UK? Pretty good. Has anything really weird happened to you? Like, have you had any real cultural shocky moments? I can't understand what a lot of my coworkers are saying half the time, but it's okay.
Have you met someone from Belfast yet?
I have not.
Apparently they have quite an accent.
Yeah, it's like a Northern Irish accent. My coworkers speak obviously with a British accent, and that's fine, but then they also talk about European soccer or football or whatever, and they say a bunch of names and terminology that I don't know. And
they go like David Beckham, and you're like, what?
Not even David Beckham. They're like, finale, the Arsenal's game, the Chelsea,
Arsenal,
whatever, and then
Tottenham Hotspurs
kicked it in performance, blah blah blah, like all this other stuff. I'm
on the pitch.
I was like, I don't know what you were saying at all right now.
Have you learned any British phrases?
Cheers. Someone at work called me a top man, and
what the fuck?
That sounds like a Dom sub thing, but I looked it up and it's just a compliment.
What does it mean?
It just means like
cool guy.
Yeah, cool guy. Like that's it.
Have you heard anybody say steady on?
No.
Steady on, mate. I've got a newspaper. I'm Tiny Tim.
No, I don't think anyone said that to me.
Have you got a shilling?
Actually, I did have a weird cultural experience. I don't know if you can say this is cultural. It was kind of the opposite of that, where I was waiting in line to get into this club with my friends, and there were these dudes ahead of us, and one of them was being really like drunk and obnoxious, and I started talking about Brexit for some reason, and I was just like, "Oh, what's your opinion on Brexit?" Like, I'm genuinely just curious, not trying to like start an argument or anything, because I wanted to know like what actual people thought. And the dude was like, "Yeah, fuck the European Union. You know, Brexit's the best thing that's ever happened to this country." And I was like, "Oh, okay. So why don't you like the EU?" He was like, "Just fuck them." And I'm like, "Is that it? Just fuck them?" And he's like, "Yeah, just fuck the whole lot of them." I was like, "Well, thank you for your very insightful reasons for destroying a decades-old cooperation amongst countries."
If you're ever in a conversation like that, do people like disregard what you're saying because you're an American?
Not really. No, I try to like if you're just friendly to people, they won't mind.
Have you ever seen a video of Parliament?
Have I what?
Parliament. You know.
Yeah, I know what Parliament is. Yeah.
Have you seen videos of that shit?
Yeah,
I would leave immediately. I don't know how people do that. It's just like
yeah, they're just yelling at each other. It's intense.
It doesn't sound fun.
The thing is, British people will also like be super curious to ask you about American politics as well.
Why did you do this to us?
Yeah, they're really like, "So what's up with Trump? Why did you guys do that?" And I'm like, "Why did you guys do that other thing?" And they're like, "True, yeah."
You shouldn't fire back. You should just say, "I didn't vote for him."
Wait, it wasn't my fault.
Why do you guys still have a queen? Anyway, bye.
Exactly. P.S. The last email someone wrote y'all when they were having fun was for me. "I'm a girl. Why did you assume I was a dude, Lamau?" Okay,
I don't
sorry.
remember that one.
I take gender roles very seriously. But now I know. What comedians do I like? Yeah, I like Hannibal Buress. I like Eric Andre. I love Bo Burnham, John Mulaney. You pretty much hit the major ones for me, actually.
Yeah. Speaking of, do you remember the movie Secret Life of Pets, that like animated movie?
Yes.
Louis C.K. was in the first one.
Really?
They replaced. There's a second one. I just saw an ad for it, and they replaced the voice with Patton Oswalt, which I thought was nice.
Okay, that works.
Patton Oswalt's another one that I like.
I like him. Hey, this one's from McKaylee. "Hey dudes, here's some doodles. Originally gonna draw Patrick, but his hair is hard, so I just drew him as Aang from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Thank you. I saw it.
Also, there's a picture of my dogs. The one on the left is Pilot, and the one on the right is Herschel, named after a football player, not the fucking old guy from The Walking Dead." I fucking hate that show.
You mean Merle?
No, Herschel, the kind old man.
Oh, I forgot that you read the Walking Dead compendium, so you know all the characters' names.
Yeah, I do, but they're good boys, but Pilot is a little gremlin and he eats trash all the time. Okay.
In what order are you reading these?
From oldest to newest.
Oh.
P.S. What's y'all's favorite food? I want to start cooking more, but I never know what to make. I love to make Brussels sprouts. As lame as that sounds.
Wow, that is really lame.
Dude, olive oil up some Brussels sprouts with salt and pepper. Like toast that shit in the oven. Incredible.
I like making chicken. I like putting a bunch of spices on chicken and making it in the oven.
Me too. I love marinating chicken for like a day. Then like cooking that shit up. So good.
I like fuck, I can't use my words. What's the Alfredos? Chicken Alfredo, shrimp Alfredo. It's just cheese and noodles. Good.
I love a good steak and a good baked potato.
Pretty much hearty stuff.
Yeah, baked potatoes.
Anything spicy, really.
That's the stuff I can make. Like I cycle between making like fish, like salmon, chicken, steak every day, usually with a vegetable like asparagus, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, cauliflower, you name it. But favorite food like that I don't make because it's like hard is probably Indian food right about now. Shit is so fucking good. It's unreal. I'm on a kick right now for sure. Also, your dogs are very cute. God, your dogs look so happy.
My favorite food that I don't make is probably wings from Maggio Italiano's.
Yeah, you can't really make wings.
I mean, you can. It just takes a little bit of effort.
Yeah. I think you can just buy like naked wings from the grocery store.
And then batter them up and marinate them.
Yeah.
But you can do that binging with Babish thing where you just look at what he does.
He literally breaks down an entire bird, so I don't want to do that. Thank you for your email. Next one is from...
I'm going to read this one. Hello, this is Thomas. Thomas Isley. Hi, I sent a picture of my dog before, and I wanted to further explain why we didn't just give him a new name. The reason is he's kind of dumb. I love him, but he's just not the sharpest knife in the drawer. So if we don't call him one of them, he'll stare at you like, who the fuck is that? He's also he's a pit bull Great Dane mix and he thinks he's a small puppy and jumps on everyone. Way to misspell everyone, you idiot. But thank you. I love that dog. It was really cute.
He's not the sharpest knife in the drawer. That's cute. I like that. What a good boy.
Are we archiving these or deleting them?
I'm archiving them. Yeah. Isn't that what you do? Just to like organize?
Delete them.
Delete. Bye. This
Art
one is,
Fear.
Yeah, do you want to read it?
Well, now I do. I'm going to read it. This is from Art Fear.
It's the subject. I don't know what their name is.
It's
also their email is also
Sad
Art Fear.
Sack Art Fear. Hi, pals. I was listening to some older episodes and Patrick was talking about how he didn't like modern contemporary art because... Oh, wait, this is the one that made me mad. Because anyone can do anything to a canvas and call it art. I get that to a point, but art isn't always about the execution, but about the idea behind the piece and that it is the talent itself. And that is the talent itself. If the artist had just wrote the idea down and put it out to the world, people wouldn't have a problem with it, but... because they use a more abstract method of portraying their idea, people get upset because the meaning isn't right in their face. And you shouldn't hate something because you don't understand it. And if art wasn't abstract, then everyone would see the same thing. And one of the beauties of art is that everyone has their own interpretation. But who am I to say shit? I wrote gay fan fiction on a book I never read and turned it into a smoke report. But I did get a B, so suck my dick. I really like the end of that email. But it's not so much that I hate abstract art, and thank you for assuming that I don't understand it. But
there's really great abstract art tutorials on Pinterest, by the way. I don't know if you knew that.
And anyway, there is good abstract art. I don't hate all of it, but I think that when there's something I noticed, and it's like a 13-year-old will draw something and have every intention of drawing exactly what they drew. There's no mistakes of what they drew, and people will call it, there's something wrong with what you've drawn. There's like errors here. And then an adult will draw the same thing and say that they intended to do everything on the page, and it's a work of art, and I hate that shit. So that's all.
You got it. I could hear you getting
also, yeah,
frustrated.
if you throw a bicycle at a wall and it breaks the drywall and it falls on the ground, that's not art. Sorry.
Hot take. I could hear you getting frustrated while you were reading that, but the ending really saved it. So good job, Art.
The ending did save it, yeah.
Yeah.
You read this one.
This one is from Cordelia or Cordella. I'm sorry if I don't think it would be Cordella. That doesn't make any sense, but I'm going to go with Cordelia.
Yeah, you should probably read it how it's spelled.
Hi, dude. This is my dog, Roxy, in case Patrick wanted to insult her. She's an 11-year-old black lab.
I'm never going to insult that.
This is the cutest fucking dog photo ever.
She's old.
She's an 11-year-old black lab, meaning she's old as fuck at this point, so I can't really relate to how Alex is feeling because I'm dreading the day, or I can really relate to how Alex is feeling because I'm dreading the day she actually won't be here anymore because she's been with me since I was 7 and I love her so much. I relate 100%, just don't tell Patrick when your dog dies. I just wanted to say how much I enjoy the podcast. It's such a great listen for biking to school every morning and has really kept me stable amongst all the fuckload of deadlines I'm experiencing during my senior year of high school.
Thank you.
I'm currently doing the IB and can't wait to get the fuck out of here and actually do something positive with my life. But I was wondering if you guys could go back in time and change one thing about yourselves or something you did when you were in high school, what would it be and why?
Change something we did in high school?
Yeah.
Do more. Take more risks.
Take more what?
Risks. Because I just ended up having to... Now I'm just like taking risks all the time. I wish I had gotten some of that stuff out of the way in high school. I probably would have been a cooler person.
I would say the same. I wish I didn't date the people I did my freshman and partial sophomore year. Because those were just wastes of time. Even though I did learn from those experiences, they were still like wastes of time and lasted for way longer than they should have. And I wish I actually properly asked out the person I asked out freshman year to homecoming because I really flubbed that incredibly hard.
Did she go out with you?
Yeah, she did, but it was just
So it worked out.
Worked out in the end, but it was overly complicated and stupid. Basically, I had to ask her twice.
Wait,
you guys
not necessarily take risks. If I can alter what I said, like, I don't know. I feel like people who do more tend to be like, or have more happen to them. It's not a universal rule. It's just what I've noticed is like people tend to be cooler, not as like popular. Is not what I mean. Like more comfortable with themselves because they have. I don't know. I feel like you're like a marble like cube. And it's sort of awkward, but then as you do more and more is chipped away, and you become more and more of who you are. And I didn't do a lot of that in high school. I was very secluded.
Yeah, you get to know yourself more for sure.
So college was a fucking nightmare. But no, then I smoothed out and I became strange.
Yeah. You guys are the best. Keep up the good work. Love from Denmark. Cordelia. I really want to go to Denmark.
Thank you for your dog.
I don't have the time. I would go to Denmark to see this dog, Cordelia.
And take it away.
Yeah.
This one is from Michelle Raker. Every time you guys say BJ, I get confused with a blowjob because I have never seen whatever BJ is. Do we say BJ?
BJ's Wholesale Club.
Oh, yeah. Also, thank you guys for being the only thing that keeps me living in physics. I've gotten a couple uploads first period. I get yelled at, but it's worth it. Don't.
What's with everyone listening in school? Do your shit
while
first.
They're lifeguarding and like having trouble in school.
We're gonna get an email one day that's like, I listened to you guys while I'm lifeguarding at work, and one kid drowned on my watch because I was laughing too hard at your joke. Anyways, thanks. Keep up the good work.
Oh wait, this is about Massachusetts. Can I read this?
Go for it. Oh fuck this. No, I want to. Okay,
no, I'm reading this. You're gonna be mad. Ruby Colhane says, "Sup dudes? What y'all were saying about Massachusetts in number 67 inspired this rant or whatever this is. I live in Massachusetts near Boston, and I hate the East Coast. Actually, I've lived here since I was 1, and I hate the East Coast. Actually, we moved. Actually, we drove. That's a weird. And we moved. Actually, we drove. I don't know if those are
your
different.
reading comprehension is really really.
No, it's just like, what's the difference between those two? Across country in a tiny VW Bug from San Francisco, but I'm so bored of the East Coast and I hate the snow and so I'm hoping to go back to San Fran maybe for college. I completely agree with Patrick and his cynical view on people being obsessed with Massachusetts and living here, because honestly there's nothing good here. Anyway, sorry for the long email, but there's much more I could say, so you're welcome for not. And there's still quite a bit more. I love your podcast because I listen to every morning on the bus, and I'm dying much less than in previous years. It makes me laugh a ton too, so everyone on my bus and at school probably thinks I'm actually insane for laughing at myself all the time. No, people know that you can listen to funny things with your headphones. Sorry, I don't even know what I just said. I'm tired, and like Patrick, I badly need sleep. Yeah. Also, it's refreshing that y'all have good views like in like social issues and stuff. It restores some of my faith in humanity that my schoolmates have taken from me. I know that feeling. Have awesome lives and keep being funny. Ruby. P.S. How bothered do you all get by people using the wrong there, and other grammar mistakes like that? Because it bothers me so frigging much. But also, I know people hate when I care because it's kind of dumb thing to waste energy on. IDK, just wondering.
Bothers me a lot less than people that shit on Massachusetts and that say the word fridging.
Garbage. Landmass, the East Coast could all fall in the ocean and be totally okay.
Listen. I go back to this point all the time, but everyone has grass is greener syndrome. Everyone thinks that X place is way better than Y place they grew up in.
I don't even have an example of anything better than Massachusetts, though. I just know that this particular thing sucks. Anyway, continue.
Like, I've seen it all. Like, look, I'm from DC, go to school in Boston. I love both of them. I'm not like someone that's like, I gotta get out of DC, man. This is the worst place in the world. Nothing ever happens here. Like, places are what you make of them. Unless you're living in like rural bumfuck nowhere, then like you really don't have much of an excuse if you're like in a major metropolitan city. That being said, weather can be pretty subjective. So I personally really love snow. I love the random like blizzards that hit Boston because I'm a freak and a maniac, and I love snow and shit. So if that's not you, then that's totally understandable. I hate the weird no season stuff in California like that. It drives me insane. As much as I like sunny days, I also love to wear sweaters sometimes. But yeah, that's just me. Boston's like a great area too. Like if that's where you're around there. I don't know. Just never really had a reason to not like Boston. Besides, like, things can close up early comparatively to other places, but I don't know, man. I like the East Coast a lot better than the West Coast. Also, San Francisco is the most expensive city in the country, and I'd much rather not pay like $4,000 to live in a broom closet every month and just live comfortably in Boston and deal with some snow. That's just my take.
You're so worked up.
Yeah, I am very worked up.
I also wouldn't want to live in San Francisco. It seems like living on a hill on an incline for the rest of your life, which sounds awful.
Yeah, I mean, your calves would look fucking amazing, but you'd also be broke.
You'd have buns of steel. But
yeah,
her other question was, how bothered do you get when people use the incorrect there, or there?
I actually don't give a shit.
I don't give a shit at all.
Yeah, I don't care.
Unless I'm saying it, then it'll bother me because I made a mistake. But
yeah,
I don't really hold people accountable for that kind of shit.
If my friends do it, I like roast them for it, but I actually don't.
Why, you have never done that to us, but
because you're usually like, I think autocorrect has really solved this problem. Really,
recently I've been really tripping up and like making huge mistakes in text. I thought fucking Buffalo Wild Wings was closed, even though it said we're open.
Buffalo Wild Wings.
That's not at all what I said.
You said Wild Wings.
I said Wild Wings.
This one's from Kayla. Hey, this is Kayla from Ass Eaters Anonymous. Recently listened to your podcast about Patrick having a Minecraft girlfriend, so I wanted to talk about my Minecraft boyfriend. He told me that he had a fake arm because some maniac broke into his house and cut his arm off with a chainsaw, and he survived by drinking his own blood. There's a lot more stories about him, but I figured that's the most ridiculous. Also, I really love your podcast, and it really makes me laugh. Keep doing what you're doing. Smiley face. Well, thank you, Kayla. He
survived by drink. He's losing blood, so he's like, "All right, I better put this somewhere useful." And then it's like when people show pictures of like a wall outlet. It's just hooked. No, not a wall outlet. Like the fucking power strip that's hooked up to itself, like infinite power. So you're just sucking down your own blood.
He's got to. If you're losing blood, you got to get back in yourself somehow before the EMTs arrive.
It's
right?
like
you got to give yourself that mouth-to-mouth transfusion.
There was a Wolverine comic where he got stuck in an iceberg and he survived by eating his own flesh because it would just regrow. But that makes zero sense to me. It's like it already makes no sense that he can heal from anything like nowhere, but it makes even less sense that eating himself. It's just weird.
It makes sense in theory.
Apparently, that's one of the ways that you can kill Wolverine, by drowning him.
That also makes sense. Yeah, anyone that's like indestructible, like they still need to breathe.
Put them in cement.
So people really should start strangling or suffocating people like Luke Cage and Wolverine and stuff.
Daken recently tried to kill his dad. Daken is one of Wolverine's sons. Daken Nakahira, I think his last name. And he tried to drown him, but it didn't work. And then he drowned himself.
Has anyone never tried to drown Superman? He breathes, right?
How would he? How?
Just like if you're like a magic user, for example, you can just hover a bubble of water over.
He can fly.
Face. Yeah, but you can't like get the water off your face if it's like magically there.
What if he flies into the sun?
It evaporates the water. You're right.
Or he just uses his laser eyes to evaporate it.
Oh man, you're right.
And he also has the power of solar flare now. So,
what if you put a paper bag around his head?
I'm pretty sure the water would get soaked in the bag. Wait. Are you hypothesizing that a paper bag will stop lasers and the sun?
If it's made out of aluminum foil. Because aluminum foil doesn't get hot if you put it in the oven. That's just facts.
Your plan for beating Superman would be like putting a laundry basket over him and then kicking him down some stairs.
Quick, get him. Do you want to grab this next one?
Which one is it? Rough Day?
Yeah.
Ironically, not ironic, says, not really a funny story, but it reminded me of something that happened in my high school last year that hits all the boxes on Patrick's comedy checklist. The death of a dog and morbid humor. That's not what I find funny. My school being maybe. My school, being in Texas, has an agricultural building where they raise show animals, learn about crop rotations, and teach kids how to use a tractor. The absolute essentials for the everyday races. One day they were moving a large metal rod for whatever reason, and it suddenly slipped and hit the electrical pole by the road. The teacher screamed for nobody to touch it, but before he could realize it, his dog ran up behind him to sniff the pole. The dog exploded into a million pieces. Within the day, word spread around the school and everyone responded by posting selfies on Snapchat using the dog filter with a caption, "Rip Fido," followed by fire emojis. The teacher replaced the dog in the following months. I love the podcast, by the way, from Rowan. Jesus H. Christ, that is hilarious.
I'm skeptical of the
I'm
dog
just imagining
exploding.
it go like, barf, and then just like...
I think... I'm not an electrician, but I don't know if electricity would make you explode like that.
Okay.
But it's still funny.
Are you saying this didn't happen, Alex?
I'm smelling a whiff of r/that happened.
I'm smelling burnt dog.
Jesus Christ. Because wouldn't the dog just drop dead? Instead of like...
No. Have you ever seen someone die of being electrocuted before?
No.
I'll show you a video later.
Don't send me a video.
There was one in particular where there was this pole that was in a flood, and I can't remember where. It was a pole that was just on the side of the road, and I guess it was live. Like there was some short, and the pole became electrified, and people were running, like trudging through the water. And obviously, when you're doing that, you want to grab something for support. So a guy grabs onto it, and instantly he just drops to his knees, but his hand is still clutching the pole because your muscles tense up when you're electrified. I'm not kidding. 4 more people walked up behind him and tried to move him from the pole, and it just became like stacks of people. It was like, but they don't like explode. They just sort of like lump and then have their limb attached to whatever's electrocuting them. It's pretty fucked up. So I would just imagine that the dog would bite the pole or whatever, and then just get stuck there.
That's crazy. God, it's really sad though, because everyone was just trying to help.
It was just like, move.
All right. Thank you for that. This next one is from Vanessa. Was worried about getting to work because it was my first week work. Oh, this is a follow-up on the Waffle House story from last week. She was worried about getting to work because it was her first week working there. And yeah, in the end, my manager ended up calling the cops to see if I could file a report. However, I still end up getting a ticket. I still find it bullshit, but whatever. I paid it, and that happened almost a year ago. Still get a bit anxious whenever I cross the street. Never mind that. This is how I became a group's go-to waiter. I was already working there for about a month, and I've already gotten the hang of taking orders and calling them, which is a weird Waffle House thing. But yeah, this one group of college freshmen come in, and immediately I can tell that they had similar to humor that I have. So at Waffle House, we have a jukebox that for $1 you can have 4 credits, which is at most times 4 songs. I was that person that would buy $5 worth of credits and would just play meme songs. All-Star, Bring Me to Life, Take on Me, you name it. The group immediately asks who's playing these memes, and I admit that it was me, and we just bonded over shitty internet culture. I even joined their D&D Discord, but I've yet to join a campaign since I find D&D to be overwhelming. Same, dude. It's a lot. Question time. I live in Florida, and everyone knows of the infamous Florida Man subreddit. Does where you guys live have crazy stories? If you guys have that one Florida Man story where a guy ate a guy's face off because he was high off of bath salts, that was 15 minutes away from my house.
I would leave Florida if I were you, but that was just me.
Yes. Also, I hope you voted because you almost elected 2 cool people and then you didn't. So I'm blaming you personally.
He was busy at Waffle House.
We have
Do we have any crazy people?
We have the
Bunny Man,
Bridge.
but that was like a legend.
Could be real.
Could be.
Unconfirmed. I actually never really looked into it.
Should look up My Favorite Murder episode where it's Bunny Man.
There's
Reese, like, I can't imagine any new. Well, we get a lot of kidnapping shit.
We had okay, well there was the DC Sniper back in like the 90s.
Oh yeah, I think she's talking about like weird crazy shit. That is kind of fucked up.
No, there was a guy going around malls and like stabbing people in the ass. Do you remember that?
I don't remember
a few years ago? Like he would just stab people in the butt.
We had some clowns.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else.
Nothing comes to mind. We're nothing like Florida, unfortunately.
Yeah, we're not Florida crazy, but like we have some. Our violence is more just like regular violence.
Regular horrifying violence.
The butt stabbing dude is as weird as it gets, I think, for us. trying to think what else. Nah.
We have a lot of kids who like go on the internet and say like, "Oh, don't come to school tomorrow," and then they don't do anything and they just get arrested.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
There's this person that's been
one.
commenting on every single one of my Instagram posts, and they're not saying anything like mean or anything. They're liking the posts and commenting, but I want to fucking block them.
What do they say?
They're just like commenting like any other person.
Like, are they leaving like a nice comment though?
Yeah,
like,
they're usually just like thinking they're making a joke or whatever. But stop.
Stop being funny. Stop trying to.
It's
make
not
me
that they're
smile.
no, that's not it. It's like they could be saying anything, but I still want them to stop because it's every single one.
Let's see. Last email of the day is from Lauren. Hey dudes, I've been listening to your podcast for a while now, and I absolutely love it. Y'all are hilarious, and I constantly find myself physically laughing out loud. And yes, getting all the weird looks. You people must live in humorless societies if people give you death stares for laughing. Excuse us for having a true human moment. In the past episode, Adult Swim, who was clipping their nails at the beginning? It's disgusting. And Patrick munching on the jerky, and honestly, I couldn't handle it. Didn't know y'all were making this an ASMR channel now. That's it. I'm out. Keep up the good work. Patrick, get some sleep.
No.
Lauren. Patrick, you would have to literally strangle Patrick to get him to fucking get some sleep. That's how he's gonna pass out if you deprive his oxygen.
Apparently,
body
I
of
should
oxygen
be taking
long
like
enough.
melatonin or something, but I don't want to.
Dude, I've done melatonin, but it doesn't do shit for me. I tried to do it on the flight from America to London, and I could not sleep. Just didn't work on me for a reason. Okay. Now is the time to give a special shout outs to all of our incredible Patreon patrons. These are the special people that have decided for some reason against all logic to support us with their hard-earned cash. Those incredible human saints are Cassidy, David, David Brody, Aaron, Eversojo, Jake, Katie, Marianne, Monty, Naomi, Pip-Hap Scallywab, Rebecca, Tara, Vanessa, and Jessica. Thank you all. You're incredible. I would shake your hand and bless your child if you ever have one. You're all incredible people. If you want to follow us anywhere, that's Instagram and Twitter, we are at Prude Dudes. If you want to follow our individual accounts, I'm at AlexPen97. Patrick is at It's Patrick Shelter 5, and Yammin is at It's _ Yammin. Bug Yammin. Tell him you're feeling like you miss him. There's something wrong when he's not here. He appreciates it. Also, make sure you send any fan art, fan questions, anything like that to our email, prudedudes@gmail.com, and we'll read it on the show, give you a response. Also, while you're at it, stop by, give us a follow on Spotify, or rate the show on iTunes. Really helps the show. Other than that, guys, make sure you have a great week. I can't tell you to go vote because that's already done and over with, but next time, go vote. And we'll see you again next week.
What?